Is a Métis educator who has taught students at risk for some 18 years now. She's based now in northern Saskatchewan, Beauval to be exact. She also has a child who has been in the social services system struggling with mental health issues for 20 years. He's not in the north because of what he needs for recovery. He's at a facility in Regina, 7.5 hours away. And after the tragedy in Laloche and questions surrounding the possible mental health issues of the 17-year-old boy who's alleged to have shot and killed 4 people and wounded 7 others, Doreen Docken has a message to all the politicians who are hoping to find a way to deal with the long-term challenges of a lack of mental health and addiction services, family or youth counseling services, or assisted housing initiatives, mental health clinics. The North, she says, does not have any of that, but she says there has been a group of very dedicated people who had already come up with a vision. And all it needs to bring it to fruition are 2 things: funding and the trust to let Northern Aboriginal people take care of themselves. This group of teachers, former Mounties, health addiction specialists, elders, doctors say what's needed in each community is a wellness center that is operated by local people using their own local cultural practices. It's already worked, she says. When she was vice principal at Joe Duquette High School in Saskatoon, it was successful in the Northern Lights School Division as well until the funding was pulled.
It's holistic. It's what we know works for our people. We have that group of people that have that knowledge that comes from our elders that have developed a triage of sustainable housing for people with mental health and addiction challenges. We look at partnership of services and using the local resources, and we can tap into the unlimited labor force. We have interwoven the cultural healing practices. We've built in safe, accessible, and affordable housing. We've got long-term treatment plans in there with relevant learning activities. And then we've even gone beyond to look to the future and built in independent housing strategies so that you integrate them back into their home community. So we've done a lot of work on our wellness center and our vision for what health and wellness needs to look like in our province. But we need the funding. And we've done this on our own dime.
So Docken hopes that Prime Minister Trudeau, who traveled to the North on Friday, will see that funding such a wellness center in most of the communities would be money well spent, and more importantly, money that would save lives. The important thing, though, she says, is that the North needs to be allowed to develop the plan and run it, because ideas from outside that culture don't work. And she's got proof. She looks at her own health region, the Kiwatinianti Regional Health Authority's webpage, as an example.
They have drop in and see one of our counselors. But people don't work like that. We don't drop in. Our healing is done holistically. It's done communally. It's done in circles. We do talking circles and healing circles and debriefing circles. We don't make an appointment and walk into an office and sit down. That's not our tradition. So we need to go back to what our traditions are, what our cultural practices are, what our elders have taught us. We need to get back to the land. We know the land is healing, and we need to listen to what our people want. They were crying for the circles, and that's not happening.
As part of their research, Docken's group went to wellness centers, such as a Poundmakers Lodge Treatment Center, which is an Aboriginal addiction treatment center near Edmonton, Alberta. And they found out what worked there. And it's facilities like that that showed them what would work. But she says they need more than just the facility, the bricks and mortar. They need the trust of the politicians and the funding to make it happen locally. You can hear more of Doreen Docken's vision for the North on Meeting Ground this weekend on Newstalk 650 CKOM. CKOM News Time is 4:57.